All right. My apologies. My iPad is freezing up on me, so had to exit, and I may have to exit again. I'm not sure. Pat, are we ready to go? Staff, anyone? Are we ready to go? Can anybody hear me? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
Hi there, Mayor Martin. We're still working on getting the live stream going. Just a moment, okay?
Okay, no problem. I'll wait. You guys just tell me when you're ready.
In about 1 minute, Mayor Martin.
Staff, anyone? Are we ready to go?
Amanda, can you answer him for me, please?
Mayor Martin, I understand it'll just be another minute. We're just working on the background and it'll just take a second. Or a minute, sorry. Thanks.
I don't know what's going on. I wasn't actually talking when I heard my voice. So that's really interesting.
Someone's got a recording.
Well, I think we should send him for some help if that's the case.
Yeah, that's right. I'm hearing voices.
You're hearing voices, Mayor Martin? And they're your own. Doubly scary.
My apologies for the delay, Mayor Martin. We are now live and we are ready to start the meeting.
Excellent, thank you. Actually, Selena, are you on? The corporate officer?
Hello, Mayor Martin, yes.
Yeah, I'm looking through on my notes. Do I need to do a roll call? Because it doesn't have a roll call in here.
It certainly wouldn't help, just for the benefit of those listening.
Okay, wouldn't help?
Sorry, wouldn't hurt.
All right, so then I'm going to call to order this public hearing. It is 5:35 p.m. on Tuesday, October 13th. I'm going to do a quick roll call. So if everybody could please unmute and just let me know that you are present. Councillor Baxter.
Present.
Councillor Parkinson.
Present.
Councillor Jensen.
I'm here.
Councillor Day.
Here.
Councillor Kobayashi.
Here.
Councillor Logan.
Present.
Thank you. And I am here as well. Moving on to opening statements. This public hearing is convened pursuant to Section 465 of the Local Government Act to allow the public to make the representations to council respecting matters containing in the following proposed bylaw. Colwood Land Use Bylaw number 151, 1989, Amendment number 177, Cannabis Retail 310 Goldstream Avenue, Bylaw number 1840, 2020. All persons who believe their interest is affected by the proposed bylaw shall be given an opportunity to be heard or present written submissions respecting matters containing in the proposed bylaw. You will not be discouraged or prevented from making your views known. However, it is important that you restrict your remarks to the matters contained in the proposed bylaw. Each person will be given the opportunity to speak. When all of the attendants have spoken once, additional opportunities will be provided to speak again during the public hearing. Prior to speaking, please clearly state your name and address. The function of council at this public hearing is to listen to you rather than debate the merits of the proposed bylaw. After the public hearing has concluded, council may, without further notice, give whatever effect council believes proper to the representations made at the hearing. Please be reminded that there will be no other opportunity to speak to the bylaw. The opportunity is now. I'm going to look to our senior planner, Jill Collinson, to introduce the bylaw for us.
Thank you, Your Worship. As noted, we are here tonight regarding Colwood Land Use Bylaw number 151, 1989, Amendment number 177, Cannabis Retail for 310 Goldstream Avenue, Amendment Bylaw 1840, 2020. The proposed bylaw requests to amend the C3 District Commercial Zone to facilitate a cannabis retail store use to be located at 310 Goldstream Avenue. The proposed site-specific use amendment would limit retail cannabis to a maximum floor area of 204 square meters for the entirety of the lot. The applicant proposes to convert an existing retail space to house the cannabis retail store. Notification period was from September 28th until today, October 13th. During this time, the public hearing binder was available by appointment at the front counter and provided digitally on the city's website. Notices were placed in the Goldstream Gazette on September 30th and October 7th. Neighborhood notices were also distributed to occupants and owners of properties within 75 meters of the subject property. 8 responses were received and have been included in tonight's agenda package. Of the 8 responses, 1 was in support, the other 7 were not. Submissions of non-support were primarily concerned with proximity to another proposed retail cannabis location. The applicant, Graham Haynes, on behalf of Rise Cannabis, is here tonight to introduce himself, as well as his company, Rise Cannabis, and to answer any questions that may come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. So the next, what I will do is give the applicant, Graham Haynes, an opportunity to introduce himself and to speak to this if he wishes. I'm not sure if he's on right now. Graham, are you there?
I'm here, yes.
So yeah, I certainly don't mean to be putting you on the spot. You certainly don't need to say anything, but I did want to provide an opportunity for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us tonight. I just wanted to start with a little bit of background. So Rise Cannabis will be owned and hopefully operated by 4 Mile, which has a liquor store in Colwood, one in View Royal and a brew pub in View Royal. We currently operate a cannabis retail store in View Royal at Admiral's Walk Shopping Center, which we opened in July. I wanted to point out that we've been retailers in the liquor realm of the world for about the last 30 years. We hold about 6 different license types and have been responsibly retailing that whole time. In addition to that, we think that having another store in the area will help with some healthy competition. I wanted to speak to some of the letters that people were writing in. I think 3 of them were from the Costa-Cana group or in support of that them, and spoke about having densification and maybe too many stores in one area. We do conform to the City of Colwood's cannabis retail store policy, and again, I think there was some mention of distance criteria between stores or setting one up or having something similar to what liquor stores have. There isn't currently a distance requirement for cannabis, nor is there for liquor in the City of Colwood. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that, we are currently retailers. We currently are running a store in a neighboring municipality. We've passed our fit and proper with provincial government and have been doing this and operating in this realm for quite a while in the liquor side of things. So we're hopeful to be continuing to do business in Colwood and grow and expand it. And we think that a new store would create about 12 new jobs. That's what we'd be looking to hire. So yeah, we want to continue growing and doing business in Colwood. So I'm here and happy to answer any other questions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Graham. There, as you heard from our senior planner, there were 8 written submissions that have been received. And now we will move to 6, which is public input, and we will have an opportunity for people to speak. There are 4 people who have registered to speak. However, if you have not registered to speak and you would like to speak this evening, you do have that opportunity. In a moment, the screen will change so that you'll see an 800 number and you'll be able to call into that as well. But the first person who has registered to speak, who I'll invite, is Gary Hammond. I'm hoping Gary is in the room. Gary, are you there, or do I need to let you in?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so thank you for your chance. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for the chance to speak. As you know, my name is Gary Hammond. I live at 531 Bunker Road, so right down the street there from City Hall. And yeah, I just want to start by saying that I oppose to this rezoning amendment for several reasons. First of all, do I think Colwood needs a second cannabis store right now? I would say no, at least not at this time, and definitely not at that location. From my understanding, and it's already been mentioned here before, is that there's a property, 310 Whale Road, that's very close by, that's set to open real soon. I think opening 2 cannabis retailers within approximately 350 meters away from each other would be kind of detrimental to both businesses right out from the gate. And I've, as a person who's lived in Colwood my entire life, I moved here when I was 5 from the UK. I've spoken to many members of the community on this, and I feel like the people I have spoken to are in agreement that we need to kind of slow down here and think about things before we set up a second shop before the first one's even open. In my opinion, I think we need to wait for a possible second location. Maybe let the first one set up shop first, gather some sufficient data and information from that first store to see if a second store is even required. I have a fear that if we jump the gun too soon and open 2 stores like right beside each other, if there's no demand for the cannabis, I mean, they're competing as well with the black market. In this current economic environment with COVID, that both businesses may be struggling to survive from the get-go. For this reason and many more, I'm a strong believer that we need, as Colwood, we need to set up some policies and guidelines surrounding the sale of this cannabis, including, I think it was mentioned by Mr. Haynes there before, distance away from existing stores, daycares, elementary schools. I think those types of things need to be put in place before we even consider a second location. With all the recent developments that have gone on around my area, like Royal Bay, I think we're looking at a population of around 18 to 19,000 in Colwood right now. And currently with that population, we have 2 liquor stores, as we know. One at the location we're talking about now at 4 Mile, and the other one there at Hatley Park. I feel that those are spread out at a good distance and kind of serves the whole of Colwood as a community. And I feel like we should kind of gather the same approach with cannabis. If we are going to open up additional stores and multiple stores in Colwood, we need to consider the people out in Royal Bay, the people out in Latoria, and we need to spread these distances out. My theory is if we set 2 stores up close by and then we start setting up another one in Royal Bay, then we have 3 in Colwood, there's already 3 in Langford, and then it's the West Shore just going to become like a hot spot for, the cannabis industry. I would hate for Colwood to lose its image that way because, like I said, I've been here since I was like 5 years old, and I'm really proud of the image Colwood has right now. So to me, it doesn't make sense to open up these 2 stores that close together. I fully support recreational cannabis in Colwood, and I'm not opposed to multiple locations, but I firmly believe now is not the best time, and this may not be the best ideal location to do so. So yeah, just in my mind, how is putting 2 stores side by side a good decision, and what metrics is the city using to justify this decision? Yeah, that's basically my argument there. So just want to thank you for the chance to speak, and to reiterate my position, I oppose this rezoning at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Sorry, Gary. Yes. Moving on, we have a speaker. And for those listening at home and who have not registered to speak but would like to, you can see on screen now that we're asking that you please call 1-855-703 8985. The meeting ID number is there. It's 858-7339-9427 with a password of being 980320. So please get yourself in the queue so that we can hear your opinions as well. I'm going to look to the second registered speaker, and I apologize if I mispronounce your last name, but it looks like it's Matthew Hoensburn.
Yeah, that's good enough.
So please, thank you and welcome.
Hey, so thank you, Mayor and Council. I do appreciate your time for letting me speak today. My address is 3503 Portwell Place in Royal Bay. I do oppose a land use amendment that would allow the property located at 310 Coldstream Avenue to be a cannabis retailer. I do support the idea of recreational cannabis in Colwood, but I do want to bring up an article from the Victoria News that was dated May 1st, 2019, that was actually discussing Colwood's approach and idea of exploring retail cannabis sales. So the article itself states that Colwood wants to take things a little slower than that of Langford's approval and get appropriate policies and procedures in place. So the article talked about adopting policies and procedures that included guidelines like the minimum distance between cannabis retail stores. At the time of the article, the city of Langford had approved 2 non-medical cannabis retail stores. So we're at the same point as Langford was last year. But it did state in the article that the Colwood Council is not in a rush to do things. We want to make sure that we do it in the correct way. So Langford's model, as stated in the article, is an aggressive model and not one that our staff is familiar with. So what I'm asking for is that the Colwood Council follows the original plan to not rush to do things and allow multiple cannabis retailers within such close proximity to operate so fast. This would be mirroring Langford's aggressive model and one that the council has admitted that their staff is unfamiliar with. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our third, and again, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to pronounce your last name wrong for sure, but it's Phil. I believe it's Floclat. Phil.
That is not even close, Mayor Martin. But
Brian, I'm terrible.
My name is Phil Fluco.
Fluco,
I live at 2540 Leany Road.
Thank you, Phil. My apologies to you.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. I certainly want to thank Mayor and Council for taking time out of their busy schedule this evening to provide an opportunity for the public to speak. Some of you may recognize my name from Costa-Cana and our previous public hearing that we held. I am here tonight to speak against the bylaw amendment for several reasons, and the majority of those really relate to market conditions and most importantly, proximity. What we can speak to tonight is our ongoing experience in the retail cannabis industry, currently operating 2 stores in the Cowichan Valley with a 3rd in development in Colwood. We have been in this position 2 times thus far. The first time was with our 2nd location in the North Valley, and we were effectively put in a position where we had the BCLDB setting up their store roughly 325 meters away. At that time, we effectively took the same position we are taking tonight, which is we have to look at the consumer metrics, the market metrics, and relate that back to serving the consumer base. What I can tell you from experience is that in our current position in our market in the Cowichan Valley, we serve about 83,000 in population. Roughly 20%, 27% rather, of those consumers use cannabis once a week. Within that 83,000 population, we have now 4 stores. Our second fight was against the 4th store that just entered the market, who are inside of 300 meters from us. What we have seen is a dramatic drop in our day-to-day operations and business. And we have even gone as far to understand that the competing company realizes that their business will fail in this market. Unfortunately, these warnings that we talked to tonight were not heeded by the municipality in which that store operates. And unfortunately, it is going to have a dramatic negative effect on both companies. We have no ill will against competition, healthy competition. However, this market is not a free enterprise. This market is heavily regulated by the provincial government, who own and operate the only e-commerce platform. as well as control the wholesale market and set those prices. What that means is we do not have the ability to market a diversified and varying portfolio of products against our competing companies, as you would in any other business. This is not a Foot Locker and a Shoe Source setting up across the street. These are competing companies with different signs that will offer the exact same products to the consumer base. Having said that, and looking at the market overall, when we consider our current market of 83,000 folks and 4 stores serving that, that gives you a rough average of 1 store per 20,000 patrons. Those patrons obviously are not all consuming cannabis. As I said, about 27% of the open market consume on a weekly basis, where conversely 56% of the population consume alcohol on the same period. What that means is when we look at these liquor stores that are set up in varying proximities, they're effectively serving double the consumer rate that we would in a cannabis enterprise. Having said that, our mission is really to provide the market information tonight, not to talk against the company. We absolutely accept that there is competition in this market and absolutely support that. However, when you look at the controlled market and the lack of free enterprise that we are involved in within this industry, it makes this a very difficult position for us. We absolutely support recreational cannabis and the healing attributes that it provides to clients and patients every day. But we have to do this in an approach where we are not risking the viability of 2 companies that could effectively be in a position where these are empty storefronts in the next, inside the next 12 months. There's a tremendous amount of capital that goes into preparing these stores. And ultimately, we want to see the best for not only the community in which we operate, but as well as the municipalities in which we operate. What we would like to do is recommend that there be a 1-year market analysis done in conjunction with Coastacana, whereby we would be more than willing and happy to provide that market data and overall analysis back to the mayor and council for further deliberation on extending the footprint of other cannabis stores within the city of Colwood. With that, again, I would like you to thank you for the time to speak and hand it over.
Thank you again, Phil. Very much appreciate that. And I apologize one more time about your last name, my mispronunciation of it. Moving on to our 4th caller, our registered caller. It's Alexander Darshan. Alexander, are you on?
Yes, hi.
The floor is yours.
Hi, so yes, my name is Darshan Ablak, Alexander Ablak, and I live at 513 Nelly Place in Colwood there. And again, agreeing with Phil and Gary and what Matthew had to say against the opposed amendment of bylaw here is just, again, like the closeness to each other. I'm not too sure that we really need that right now, considering we haven't looked over the proper regulations, the current economic impacts with COVID and how far away they are with each other. And I'm not too sure if we want to be putting all these stores up everywhere, which could essentially be down the block from each other all the time. Like what Phil had to point out, the proven track record and data. I would think that there would need to be more testing per store for that to just have more insight on what needs to be done moving forward in the community here. I've been a resident here for 20 years or so, and I'm just not sure the municipality here, the community is ready for that to be spreading like wildfire. Again, with schools and daycares and close proximity to all these places like that. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that is the 4 people who have registered to speak. If you are watching online, there is a 1-855-703-8985 number that you can call in. I will call for a second time now. If you are watching live and wish to speak to the bylaw, please follow the instructions on the screen. If you'd like to speak for or against the bylaw, please raise your virtual hand by pressing *9 on your phone. And I will look to staff. Staff, do we have anyone calling in? I'm hearing silence, so I'm going to guess not. But I'm just going to have a quick look myself.
We have no callers, Mayor Martin.
Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to pause a moment to, in case somebody's just logging in now and they're just getting on to the phone number and doing it. So what I'm going to do is it's 5:56 right now. I'm going to pause until 5:58, and then I will call a third and final time for comments. So we're going to wait for about 2 minutes here and just give an opportunity for people to call in. And again, I apologize that everybody's going to listen to my voice. It's just I don't want to just have complete silence in case people are logging on and thinking that their screen is frozen. It has not. If you want to take an opportunity, please call the 1855 number that is on your screen presently. It is 5:58, so I'm assuming we still do not have any callers. So I will, for a third and final time, ask if there's anyone who wishes to speak to this proposed bylaw that you please call in now. We are going to wait until 6 p.m., so that gives another 2 minutes for anyone to call in. To participate, please call 1-855-703-8985. Your meeting ID number will be 858-7339-9427, with the password being 980320. And to speak, please raise your virtual hand by hitting *9 on your phone, and that will put you in the queue. And as I said, we are going to wait until precisely 6 p.m. before we adjourn. So I'm just going to give people one more opportunity to call in. And once again, if you are just logging in right now, this is your opportunity to call in to speak to the proposed bylaw.
Councillor Jansen has his hand up.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Jansen, I did have staff come by and let me know that your hand is up, but I am not going to you because this is for only public participation this evening. So council will not be, I won't be engaging with council. And it is 6 p.m. And it doesn't look like we have any other callers. So, oh, he can? Okay, actually staff have now clarified that if you are looking to ask a clarifying question, Councillor Jansen, you may speak. Otherwise, if you're making comments, you are not to comment. So Councillor Jansen, do you wish to speak? Or ask a question, excuse me?
Yes.
Okay, then you may ask a question.
Thank you. Directed to Ms. Collinson. There was some reference given to the fact that we have no governing regulations with regard to these type of cannabis operations. My understanding is that we are abiding by the established guidelines as presented from the provincial government. And as I recall, it was 300 meters separation. Am I correct in that assumption?
Through your worship, Councillor Jansen, the City of Colwood has a cannabis retail store policy, and that policy dictates that we shall provide the distance from the cannabis retail store to certain types of uses, including other retail stores, parks, and schools. And the provincial government downloads regulations as it comes to separation distances at the discretion of the municipality. So it is ultimately up to Colwood to determine if they want a distance requirement or if not. It is at the discretion of each municipality to implement what they feel best fits their unique municipality.
Okay, I get that, thank you. But I do believe that the provincial guidelines offer a framework for consideration, and it specifies 300 meters. I think we went through this the last time, and I did check the last time we went through this public hearing and noted that it was, and if I'm incorrect, then I apologize, but thanks for that.
Thank you. I will look to rest of council as well. Just, I don't want to cut anybody off. Does anybody have questions? This is only for questions to the proponent or to staff. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, then I'm going to move to adjourn. Being no further input, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this public hearing. Do I have a mover? Unfortunately, for some reason, my screen right now is not showing hands. So I don't actually see anybody's hands or virtual hands. So I do see Gordy's actual hands. So Councillor Logan has made the motion. Do I have a seconder? Can I see an actual hand, physical hand? Thank you, Councillor Day. I'm glad we're not doing that all the time. Seeing that, I'll call the question. Those in opposition, please raise your actual hands. Seeing none, this meeting has concluded and adjourned, and we will see everybody at 6:30.